Hi, hello, and welcome to another episode of The War on China. I am once again joined by Mr. Mario Cavolo, a person with a lot of experience here in China, and myself, Fernando Munoz, with almost 21 years here in China. And today I want to say something that a lot of people have been asking me. Why are we the experts? We are experts because we have experience here in China. That's what makes us the experts. That's why we can tell us what we live through, what we go through, and what we know. That's one thing that you come here to see. So, Mario, how are you tonight?
I'm great tonight. And you know what? It's the same story. Everyone, welcome to episode number 4. And I'm going to ask everybody, do a check for us on the sound, please. How am I coming across my video and my sound? And then how about Fernando, his video and his sound? Can you just leave a little comment in the live chat and kind of let us know if everything is cool? And because there was a little glitchy thing happening before. Well, you know, Fernando, you asked me how am I? Well, how am I? I'm the same as I was before, you know? I'm frustrated, I'm angry, and I should be, and so should a lot of people be. And we have to take and channel that anger where it belongs. I love the name of the show tonight. Hell is empty. And it's because all the devils are here. You know, and they're whipping up trouble. And that's what they're doing, and they are doing it, and it's absolutely ridiculous. You know, I had a conversation with my wife, often, happy to say. I had a conversation with my wife a few days ago, and also another gentleman I was visiting with today. And the point is we were discussing this idea of the quality of our lives, And I don't just mean for ourselves here in China, but for people all over the world. And in our case, what I was saying was, and Fernando, I think this applies to you as well. What I was saying was, you know what? Our life is really good, really blessed. We don't have any problems. I really don't have any problems. Life is wonderful. And for so many people in the world, and I want to now say China, for so many people in China, life is better than it's ever been. And people in China, all 1.4 billion of them, they don't think about politics on a daily basis. They just think about wanting to have a better life. And in order to be able to have that better life, they need a government that does its frickin' job. They need a government that just does its job. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask? Just, you know, United States, you're spending hundreds of billions of dollars on warships in the South China Sea. Send them home. Take care of your problems in your own damn country. Speaking of which, first topic we're going to talk about tonight. Fernando, this one's for you. What's going on in Afghanistan? United States, what did they do there? Did they make it a better place? No.
Well, that's topic number 1.
Yeah, man. Topic number 1. You know, they're so
abrupt departure.
They're so concerned about Afghanistan, but they're not taking care of things at home. They're so concerned about China that they got warships in the South China Sea. Hey, that's our neighborhood, not yours. Go home. Okay.
Look, Mario, after 20 years of the war in Afghanistan, it is a good idea to look back and see what did they accomplish. There were 20 years in Afghanistan. How much freedom did they bring? How much democracy did they manage to establish? How much nation building did they accomplish? Those are 3 very important questions, because that's the reason why they go to wars, to help these countries. So that's my question. How much freedom, how much democracy, and how much nation did they actually build?
Yeah.
And it's not only Afghanistan. If you go back a little bit and talk about, okay, how much nation building, how much freedom, how much democracy have they brought to countries in Africa? How much did they bring to Iraq? How much did they bring to Syria? 20 years of killing Muslims, killing Afghanis, killing brown people to bring freedom, democracy, and nation building. Very easy to rebuild a nation once you first destroy it through bombs. How much did they bring?
None.
And now they just wash their hands and leave. Now, what we're seeing now is that within days of them leaving, the Taliban is actually controlling 85% of the country, 85% of the terrain. What did they accomplish? They're really bad at war. America is really bad at war. That's a fact. But they love fighting them. They love dragging them. They love spending your taxpayer money and giving it to the MIC, the military industrial complex, so that the wheels keep running, the wheels keep spinning, and everybody happy except the 99%. Now, what we're seeing is the Taliban has actually come out and say, hey, Beijing, we'd like to talk to you. I have my concerns about this approach. But anyway, what do they want? They want to be plugged back into the BRI. They want to be plugged into the Belt and Road Initiative. They want to be part of this bloc that China has created and that is working very hard in creating. What did we see the last couple of weeks, Mario? What did we see? We saw Xi Jinping having a conference with Putin, a neighbor to Afghanistan, and many other Stan countries. What did we see just the other day? Khan from Pakistan having a meeting, having conversations with President Xi. So this pact, this group, this region is turning to China and turning to Russia for, okay, how we're going to do this. Now that the Americans are gone, we want in. We want to rebuild our nation. China's great at rebuilding nations, right? Now, I still think that not everything is positive. When America leaves Afghanistan, it leaves a void. And when you put that together with the delisting of ETIM as a terrorist organization, the possibility for recruits, it's really, really concerning, something that everybody should be worried about. And here's another thing that is concerning, and we're going to talk about that also today during this program. We're going to talk about the sanctions and how they are indiscriminated and how they are discriminate and they affect people that have absolutely nothing to do with slave labor. But when you combine America leaving Afghanistan, when you combine ETIM being delisted, and you combine unemployment created with the sanctions and these bans, you're creating a very bad picture for unrest. So these countries need to come together. Now, I asked a question on Twitter the other day. How is China going to handle the Taliban extremism? I don't know. But one thing that I want to do, and then this way I would like to kind of like start connecting a little bit to topic number 2, but I know you want to say something about this as well, is I have a proposal to the BBC, to the mainstream media. I have a proposal for Bloomberg. I have a proposal for all these channels. Why don't you go into Afghanistan right now and make a show, make a series of videos about the amount of freedom that was brought to Afghanistan after 20 years of killing people? The amount of democracy that you brought after killing people. The amount of nation building that you achieved after 20 years of killing people. Go mainstream media. Make that video.
I know, man.
You, Mario.
Look,
20 years.
Did they make the world a better place? Right. That's the question. Did they make Vietnam a better place? Did they make Libya and Syria a better? They decimated people's lives. So what is this nation building? Now you contrast that to how welcome China is in Africa, and the fact that and the lie about the debt diplomacy. It's not true. They were doing zero interest loans for these third world countries and African countries. Say, we'll build the roads for you, we'll build the ports for you, we'll build the bridges for you that you need. We are with and the rails, the high-speed rails, the train systems. We are living witnesses here in China of the successful model, and now they want to take that model and they take it to the other countries and make it successful there. You want to know what it's like? You know, how would you like to be able to go 50 miles in 15 minutes for $5? 50 miles, 15 minutes for $5. Would you like to be able to do that in the United States?
I love that.
You know, would you like to be able to hop on a train in New York and end up in, I don't know the exact mileage, forgive me. Would you like to be able to hop on a train in New York and end up an hour later in some place like 100 miles away for $5? Not Amtrak, $60, 3 hours. Are you kidding me? This is what we have here in China. You want to know why business people are able to be successful and build lives for their families, to make money, to put food on their table and take care of their families. That's the dream of a man and a woman who are the heads of households, to take care of their families, to put food on the table. It's not complicated. It's not about Bezos and Branson having their contest of who's going to go to space first. Who gives a hoot? Who gives a hoot? That doesn't do anything for anybody, does it? Okay? The practical realities of life are what people need to be able to have good lives. Now, I'm just going to jump. I want to jump to the Uyghur thing. I'm going to hold myself. And then I got something to say. Okay? I'll hold myself. And then in the meantime, we have what happening with the impression, instead of the reality of how good it is, you have the mainstream media like BBC, topic number 2. You got mainstream media like BBC. Can you imagine? I mean, are they just desperate or are they stupid that they would actually attack innocent individual vlogger people who live in China, who've lived here for a very long time, and they're just sharing their experiences. They're saying, hey, you guys, hey, my name is George, my name is Mary, my name is Daniel, I'm a vlogger, I live here in China, and you know, you got the BBC trying to tell you that China's this evil, nefarious place. Hey, guess what? I've lived here for 20 years and I can't find anything evil and nefarious around anywhere nearby at all. So I thought I'd let you know that. Oh, and then the BBC turns around and attacks them for that and tries to say that they're paid by the government. I mean, you know, if you want to embarrass...
Mario, explain that to us. Explain that to us. The part about getting paid.
Okay, look. Folks, I mean, yeah, you kill me, right? So I dropped my notes, excuse me. So, you know, folks, listen to me. Listen to me very carefully about business, okay? The media industry, okay? I come from the media industry. All my life, I've been a speaker on stages and in front of cameras. That's what I do all my life. That's what I like to do. That's what I seem to be, you know, geared toward. Not administration, not engineering. That's what I do. So I know communications and I know media pretty well, all right? So how does the media industry work? It doesn't matter whether it's China. It doesn't matter whether it's the United States, Germany, Italy. It doesn't make a difference, okay? If you have written a story and you have some news, and that news is of value to the media, okay, then the media will want your news. And the media, in many, many cases, it varies from situation to situation, pays you for that story. Clarify what I just said. They pay you for the value of your story. Because of why? Why does, you know, CNN, name any of their broadcasters. Fox News, name any of their broadcasters. What do? They get advertising money. And what is the advertising money that they can charge per minute based on? The number of viewers. So if you have a story that's worth sharing with the readers and they decide that and they go, whoa, what's that story? And they like that story and it's a valuable story to their readers, they'll pay you for that story. They pay you for the value of the story as a story of interest to your readers. That's not paying you to write what they want you to say. Nobody pays you. Nobody in media, whether it's CGTN in China, whether it's Fox News in America or DGW in Germany, whoever that is, right? Doesn't matter who it is. Yeah, they don't pay you to write what they want you to say. That's not how the media industry works. The media is revenue driven. What is the surprise in that? Every industry in the world is media driven, is revenue driven. Every industry in the world needs to make a profit and pay their employees, and people need to be able to feed their families. Okay, so when, as I mentioned, as I explained in episode number 3, they tried to do this to you where they twist it up. Oh, the government pays them to promote. Number one, the government doesn't pay anybody. Number two, if anybody gets paid, it's not to promote. It's for the value of what you've done, like anything else. I've written 3 books on China. Okay, my 3rd book, published in Hong Kong. I'm very excited. I'm going to be promoting it all. This just published, the first 1,000 copies. I'm excited about that. Okay, that's my book, my research, my words. What I know is evidently and observably and demonstrably true in and about China. And if someone then turns around and says, we love that, we want to do an event with you and we'll pay you and we'll buy 10,000 of your books, great, then I make money because of what I produced. Not someone's paying you to say what they want you to say. So you see the absurdity of that all. All right, we go on to the next thing, Fernando.
I want to say something about something that people comment a lot is, why do we make these videos? What is my incentive for working on this show, for putting long hours and preparation? I'll tell you what mine is. I'm afraid. I'm afraid that we are in a collision course to a possible hot war. You just mentioned the air carriers, the military practice that take place on the Strait of Taiwan. How likely is it that there is a mistake and we are, boom, like nothing on a hot war? This is happening here in my backyard. This is something that could take place at any moment. This is why I am concerned. This is why I make these videos. And this is why I tell you what I need to tell you. And here's my proposal to you. My incentive is to stay alive and to keep the world at peace. But if we're talking about getting paid and being incentivized by money, I have a proposal for the BBC, for the Bloomberg and the Fox and all these people that come here to make videos and make content and report on China and Xinjiang. Next time you want to go to Xinjiang, here's the thing. Why don't you take a couple of YouTubers behind you? Take a couple of YouTubers and we're going to be your behind the scenes crew with our GoPros and our DJIs and our little cameras, checking what you are seeing and checking how you are doing it and validating what you are presenting. It's wonderful. We're really cheap, according to what you say. We get paid by state media, right? You take us there, we go behind you, and then you cannot manufacture information. You cannot make up stories. We get content, we win, you get validation, and you get access to the things you want to see, you win, and the audience, the public, the people that are watching what you produce get the truth.
Hey, come on.
Enough is enough, Mario. Enough is enough. I've had enough of weaponized uncertainty. All they write is, oh, it might be this, it could be this, it is possibly this, it's alleged to be. No, let us go with you. We should what you do, and there's no alleged, there's no might, there's no could. It is what it is. You say what we see as well. Stop
with your dream, Fernando. Stop with your dream. Stop with your dream of the truth. Oh, good for you. Good for me. We have our dream of the truth. They're not interested. They're not interested in reporting
they're
the truth.
weaponizing uncertainty. They're using it as a weapon to push for war, push for sales of weapons and arms, and arming Taiwan and selling more and more bombs. They're selling fear. That's what they're doing.
Worse than that. Worse than that. They're trying to they're intentionally trying to destabilize situations. They've done this over and over again, and they don't think about the effect they're having on the citizens of these countries. They go in, they went and destabilized Venezuela, they destabilized Syria, Libya, El Salvador. Now they're doing it in Cuba. I mean, we don't have time to talk about that. They destabilized it. What were they doing in Hong Kong? They were creating destabilization. You want truth? You want truth? Noble idea. Me too. That's why we're here. You're not going to get it from them. They're not interested in truth. They're not at all interested in truth. You want to talk about truth? Here, we got the other stories we got to talk about today. You know, I'll mention quick with BBC. John Sudworth. John Sudworth. This guy is notorious. Right? Be quiet. Hey, be quiet. John Sudworth. John Sudworth. He's in China. He's the one making these crap Xinjiang videos, okay? He's the one going there trying to say that you're in detention centers. And then the public bus arrives at 4 o'clock to pick everybody up, the public bus. So the people are coming and going and as they please. Thank you, okay? So this guy's a liar, right? And because of all the damage they're causing damage to the lives of these people and the Uyghur people in Xinjiang. And they finally got together with a group of lawyers and they filed a lawsuit against BBC and this guy. Good. That's what they should do. You come to China and you're telling stories that are lies, and those lies are causing my life to be ruined. Then I take you to court and sue you. And what do? You flee to Taiwan. You should flee. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. You're being taken to court. And what does he do? And he flees and he leaves the country. And he says it's because he's being intimidated by the Chinese. Well, ladies and gentlemen, last time I checked, if somebody files a lawsuit against you for slander and libel, if you call that being intimidated, okay, then I guess that's being intimidated. I would find it intimidating if somebody filed a lawsuit against me too. But the trick would be, don't give him a reason to.
Guys, I want to remind you that we put a lot of time, effort, and money into making this show. So if you want to support the work that we do, you can use the links in the description down below to support Mario's channel, my channel, and also, well, if you're here in China and you're using WeChat, you can also support our work. And remind you to please subscribe to our channels. We need our message to be heard by more people. So you sharing this content, you commenting, you liking right now, those of you who are watching, really helps the algorithm and helps the message to go out there. But right now we are going to move on to a very, very important topic that we have in our show today. We're going to talk about an example of what Mario just said. This is a shirt maker called Israel. And the story that was written by Nuri Vitachi, I'm sorry if I mispronounced this. It was a very, very interesting story presenting, and Mario, I'll let you tell us a little bit more about this. Their 25 years of supporting Uyghur labor, Uyghur population, the minority, through their factories, a factory that at one point was manufacturing 100 million garments a year. And they were hit with false accusations from ASPI. And now the Department of Commerce of the United States has blacklisted this company. So Mario, tell us more details.
I'm going to tell more details, but before I do, hey, I got to do a little kudos to Fernando here. You know what I'm going to say next, don't you? I'm going to say it right here live during the show. Fernando, your excerpt of our previous show got retweeted by Zhao Lijian. You're the man. You're the man. Very nice, man. That was really fantastic today. That was very fantastic today. I'm honored. I'm honored. You know, maybe it'll be me next time. Who knows? But that was.
We're angry. We are the experts, and we're angry, and it shows.
Well, let me take it. But you know, come on. Let me take it a step further. People are realizing what we're here discussing. We're focusing in on the evidently demonstrable information, not the rhetoric crap, which is what the enemy in this war is putting out. Okay. I love the new word I discovered, and I've been teaching everybody, right? Apodeictic. Okay. Epidetic knowledge. That is what is demonstrable, evidently and demonstrable, certain to be true, not assertoric, assertive, assertoric and rhetoric, which is all from the Greek, from Aristotle, from the Romans, okay, which is I assert something and I assert it without evidence, okay? And here we go with it, and this is what it is. We're back onto Esquel, the shirt maker. So what happened? Again, just ridiculous politics. Allegations with no evidence, assertoric rhetoric, and came from where? Australia Strategic Poo-Poo Institute, as far as I'm concerned, you know, AFPI. Right? So because of their allegation with no evidence, so it's a political game. It's a political game. They were blacklisted by the United States Department of Commerce for running slave labor. I want to repeat this. Esquel Shirt Maker Company was blacklisted by the United States Department of Commerce based on a no evidence allegation by the Australian Strategic Planning Institute, which puts out satellite images of five-star apartment buildings and tries to tell you that there's concentration camps in Xinjiang, and that this company was blacklisted for running slave labor. I repeat, blacklisted for running slave labor. So now let's discuss this. Here are the facts, and my thanks to Johnson Choi, who hang on,
Vice Chair of the U.S. Department of Commerce in Hawaii.
Yeah, but he was the vice chairperson for the, yes, exactly, U.S. Department of Commerce Export Council in Hawaii, which is the added personal witness story. Hang on here. I want to go first. So what's going on with Esquel? For more than 10 years, 400 Uyghur people are employed by the company, amongst other Han and minorities, but 400 are Uyghurs. They're paid 2 to 3 times higher than the local minimum wage. And the chefs, and because I know this, all big companies in China, all kinds of big companies, automotive companies, all kinds of big companies, they got hundreds of employees, and they have cafeterias. Right, so they're given their meals every day in the cafeterias, and they do a great job. They make food fresh in China every day. And the chefs prepare Uyghur food. So the 400 Uyghur employees are paid 2 to 3 times higher than the typical local wages in the area. And the chefs in the cafeterias prepare Uyghur food for them. So there's your definition of slave labor. Okay. Meanwhile, the Esquel factory is owned, originally founded by the Yang family, who's known for their spectacular success story in Hong Kong. Their Hong Kong family, one of the largest shirt makers, and became one of the largest shirt makers in the world. The daughter of the founder, Marjorie, is currently running the company, very well known in the charity and civic community circles of Hong Kong. And also, they even set up a micro-lending program for farmers to help with poverty alleviation programs in Xinjiang. So this is the story that I just told you. That's the factual known story of this family that's been doing business in Hong Kong. They're like a well-known family, 40 years in Hong Kong. No one's ever complained about them. This is the story of this wonderful family based in Hong Kong and their company, and this is slave labor. I mean,
this is what they're doing. They're opening the books. They say like, hey, Department of Commerce, USSR, come here, have an audit, have a look. They're not doing it. They're still blacklisted.
DC, Department of Commerce, invited to visit and inspect, no response. third-party inspectors invited in. And what's the result? Same as what we've covered before. Same as what has been reported on this crap about slave labor, forced labor in Xinjiang, as reported by Skechers, Muji, Volkswagen, Apple, Coca-Cola. Let me repeat those names. Skechers, Muji, VW, Apple, Coca-Cola, that every one of them have been reporting for well over a decade that they do, what's it called?
Audits.
Oh, yeah, audits. Thank you. My mind got a little blank there for a second. They do audits, but the point is they do announced and unannounced audits, and never has there been anything found. End of discussion. End of discussion. And that's exactly in line with Esquel and the Yang family. Put it to bed. End of the story.
It's weaponized uncertainty. Go and look at any report written by this Western media is full of probability. It's full of could, may, probably, alleged, but they weaponize that. And how do they do it? This same person, Nuri Taki, who wrote this article, is telling you companies, firms are afraid of hiring Uyghurs now. They don't want to find themselves blacklisted. They don't want to find themselves in trouble. That's the plot. That's the scheme. They go there, well, I don't want to employ Uyghurs because then the Department of Commerce is going to come and close me down. I'm going to be in trouble. So no Uyghurs, please. That is the thick of the plot. That is the core of the issue. Create false accusations and create the fear in the companies and the entrepreneurs and the firms that no longer want to employ the Uyghurs. You put that together with Etim having been delisted, easier to recruit. You put that together with all this situation and all this attention, all this falsehood that is coming from Western media, and you're just creating a time bomb. I mean, I applaud the Chinese government for how they are handling the situation. But we need to communicate with the people out there, with the Westerners that understand our perspective. We're not paid by the media. We're not paid by the government. We're telling you how things are. This is how things take place. Watch us, listen to us, learn from us, and go to your governments and go to your media control authorities and tell them to stop writing things that are not provable, that they cannot demonstrate to be true. Just the Bloomberg conclusion. We conclude that it is possible that solar panels from Xinjiang are tainted. It is possible. There is a probability. That's what you call in legalese, cover your back. Cover your back. Anything is possible. Anything is probable. But is it demonstrable? Is it factual? No, it isn't. But the person who is reading all this information, these reports, they're just swallowing it. And they just see the main words, tainted, slave labor. And that's what they're doing. They're destroying the futures, the lives of Uyghur people, the ones that they claim to be protecting. Mario, we're going into Menwanzhou very quick.
No. Hell is empty, Fernando. Hell is empty. All the devils, we're fighting them in the battle. And what they're doing is this economic terrorism. And that's the end of this show. Next show, we'll talk about Menwanzhou. You finish it up.
See you guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell button, and support the work that we do by clicking the link in the description down below. And if you're here in China, you can use the QR codes that you've seen. And